your family. Let's see how crazy people can get.
Whole family chat.
Hey, let's start that thing.
He's got to go down now.
I told you the blitz was interesting.
Of course these fans are pumped up. It's the final major on the 2016 PBA calendar, the PBA World Championship from the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. 5 of the best in the world seeking to add not just $60,000 to their bank account, but a major championship to their resume. 4 of the 5 players have one already. Will number 5 get one? There's only one man in today's PBA World Championship stepladder final who's never won a major. EJ Tackett. But he's come close. At last year's World Championship, Tackett was the #1 seed, but was denied by the previously unknown Gary Faulkner Jr. 1 year later, Tackett is back and is once again the World Championship's top seed. But there are no unknowns ready to challenge him in this year's field. Only major title winners. USBC Masters champion Anthony Simonson. World Championship winners Tom Smallwood and Dom Barrett. Oh, and the 3-time PBA Player of the Year, Jason Belmonte. It's the final star-studded major of the season, the PBA World Championship.
The 5th seed in today's PBA World Championship. He was the youngest ever to win a major championship at age 19. From Austin, Texas, Anthony Simonson. The 4th seed is the 2009 PBA World Champion. From Saginaw, Michigan, Tom Smallwood. The 3rd seed is the 3-time and reigning PBA Player of the Year. From Orange, New South Wales, Australia, Jason Belmonte. The number 2 seed is the 2013 PBA World Champion. From Colchester, England, Dom Barrett. The number 1 seed was the 2013 PBA Rookie of the Year. From Huntington, Indiana, give it up for EJ Tackett! These are your finalists for the 2016 PBA World Championship.
And we welcome you inside the National Bowling Stadium along with the Hall of Famer Randy Peterson and Kimberly Pressler. I'm Dave Lamont, and Marshall Holman will be joining us in a few minutes. And Randy, this is a grueling format. These guys really worked to get to this final show.
Yeah, they really did, Dave. 62 games, 5 completely different oil patterns, and that's why we have one of the strongest fields of the year in this major championship. But it's also going to determine the Player of the Year race.
As it should be when you get to your final major of the year. It's down to these two, we think anyway, Anthony Simonson and EJ Tackett.
Well, most think if Simonson wins, it's going to be 2 majors. He's going to be your Player of the Year. Remember earlier, he became the youngest player to ever win a major championship, capturing the USBC Masters.
Just 19 years old. He won't be 20 until January of next year. But he has shown a poise and a talent beyond his years in capturing that USBC Masters. Now, EJ Tackett, if you ask him, if I win it all.
Yeah, EJ's really made a statement starting this past summer, and it's continued on through the fall and here at the World Series of Bowling. I mean, if he wins, folks are saying, well, it's going to come down between him and Jesper Svensson. So it's anybody's game if Tackett wins. Simonson wins, he's your guy.
Let's not forget about the reigning player of the year, who so far is winless on the year, but he rises up in the big moments.
He's made 6 shows, but he hasn't won. And I think that folks have kind of forgotten a little bit about Jason Belmonte, but I think that's a big mistake. If this pattern turns into a curving contest, Jason Belmonte will win.
And let's find out. That stepladder bracket begins with Tom Smallwood and Anthony Simonson. Belmo awaits the winner in match number 2. Then Dom Barrett. Match number 3, and E.J. Tackett's going to have to wait a little while before he gets his chance at that first major. But you know what? He gets to talk to Kimberly Pressler right now.
That's right. I'm laneside with the #1 seed, EJ. So you've had a pretty good World Series so far. You're only one of 3 people who made match play in all 4 animal patterns, and you're coming off a win at the fall spring. So how do you translate that into a win here today?
I'm just going to use the confidence that I've built this year. Bowling on TV, I feel like I've had a pretty good year. I've bowled some good games. I haven't won them all, but I've performed really well. So I'm just going to go out there and try to make the best shots I can, and hopefully it's good enough.
Now, if you win today, do you deserve to be Player of the Year?
You know, that's going to be left up to my peers. I feel like I've had a great year. You know, Jesper's also had a really, really good year. So I just got to go out and do my job, and then let everybody take care of the rest.
All right. Well, you seem pretty confident. Good luck to you today.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you in the booth.
Kimberly and EJ, thank you very much. Let's find out, Randy, what are we bowling on today? What is this oil pattern?
Well, it's the 41-foot World Championship oil pattern. The players are going to start pretty far to the right and straight. But as this pattern breaks down, they're going to migrate in. They're going to start to curve it. And remember what Belmonte did the last 8 games of match play. He averaged over 250.
So starting on the left lane will be Tom Smallwood. And a perfect start for the veteran from Saginaw, Michigan.
Tom Smallwood's strategy was going to be trying to stay as far away from the big power players as possible.
See the resume on Anthony Simonson. That's not a misprint. He's 19. USBC Master Champion, ending the Belmo streak. And already has picked up 2 tour titles. A wide right, and he opens with trouble here. A 2-8-10.
So much on the line for this youngster.
His other title this year was the Roth-Holman doubles. His partner there was Connor Pickford. So he'll take his punishment and open in the first frame. So here's our format: 169 entries, 32 qualifying games, and as Randy mentioned, a multitude of oil patterns. The top 42 then had to bowl an additional 6-game round. Then we cut to 24. Then you have 24 games of round robin play, and now we have the top 5. So they really earned their way in. Better looking shot that time for Simonson.
4 animal patterns, 1 World Championship pattern, 5 completely different patterns in all. I think it's a great test, and you throw this kind of combination at the greatest players in the world with that many games, the cream always rises to the top.
And he got a little late kick on the 10 for the 2009 PBA World Champion. That was his first title on the tour. And in the World Series of Bowling era, Randy, this was the first PBA World Championship.
Yeah, and he beat one of the best players on tour en route, taking down Wes Malott. This guy's tough. There is no fear in Tom Smallwood.
That snaps back into the pocket. Absolutely beautiful, and a front 3 for Smallwood to start.
That's the way to do it, taking advantage of the opening given to you by your opponent. Simonson's open in the first. Smallwood perfect through 3.
Man, beautiful kick there. Now we're in Nevada, of course. What are the odds on these players? because folks in Nevada have been known to throw down $1 or $2. E.J. Tackett the favorite. Well, how does that shake out to you, Randy?
Winning from the #1 seed has always been tough, and the even, I think it should be more like 3-1.
Well, that's where Dom Barrett and Jason Belmonte are. And listen, Tom Smallwood's a major champion. He is the quote-unquote long shot at 14-1.
If you're a gambler, you throw some money on the 2 long shots.
Through the face that time, and no split for Simon.
Oh,
Somebody
man.
a 3-6.
15 minutes of practice for absolutely nothing.
I'm sure you felt that way occasionally in your career.
Oh, yeah, I've been there. Been to that barbecue. Thought Simonson was pretty good after the double, but he goes through the nose there and apparently does not care for his ball reaction.
That's not been a problem for Tom Smallwood through the first 3. Take a look at his arsenal. He picked the rack attack solid and the lowest of the hook rates in his arsenal.
Yeah, and you can see why too. He's going pretty straight from pretty far right on the lane, right around that 8th board. Oh no, no.
And that's going to bring Simonson right back into this.
Well, it's going to bring him back in mentally. I'm not so sure physically because he hates his ball reaction. But I mean, Smallwood's reaction looks great, but that was a terrible break. And I think it's the worst break in our sport, honestly. The pocket's 7-10. I mean, it could be a strike, but you come away with an open frame on a pretty good shot. That stinks.
Pretty good. You even just heard him say, pretty good. Meantime.
I got no
Either
problem.
that or just move a little left.
If you move left and go around it, you got to go to the up, or you got to go to the phase 2. The quicker response one. You know what I mean? Those are your 2 options.
And boy, just for a second, the 7-10 was there, and now they're both gone.
That's crazy stuff there. It almost looked like back-to-back 7-10s, and he gets the rolling messenger to come across and take the 10 out. Watch this pin action here. A nice shot. Head pin sidewall. But that wasn't the head pin that took out the 10. What was that?
So we'll see if the conversation with Tim Mack will help Anthony Simonson.
All right, so he's good on that lane, Dave, but Tim said if Simonson was going to make a move on the left lane, the move was to open up, move left, open up the pattern a little bit more, but he has to go to a quicker response bowling ball, something that's going to start a little bit sooner as we take a look at his arsenal, the Haywire 8.0 hook potential.
He has asked for a re-rack here on that left lane, by the way. That's why we have a little bit of a moment here. Take a look at our score through 5.
He's working that chamois on that bowling ball. Used to use towels. Now all the manufacturers have come out with these chamois. They're highly absorbent, work great.
Line right there, and he leaves everything into the pit except the 2-pin.
"15 minutes of practice and then this." Remember those words, folks.
Should be a t-shirt for that.
It's a great idea.
He didn't like that, but he made it, and that's all that matters. So Anthony Simonson and Tom Smallwood in arm's length with each other. Just 9 pins separate these two in the opening match. The winner will take on Jason Belmonte as they try to capture the PBA World Championship. The PBA World Championship is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Reno Tahoe USA. For your next vacation getaway, go to visitrenotahoe.com. By Barbasol Shaving Cream, America's leader for a close, comfortable shave. Close Shave America, Close Shave Barbasol. And by El Dorado, Silver Legacy, and Circus Circus, Reno's premier downtown properties. Time for our extra frame tournament highlights in the National Bowling Stadium in downtown Reno. And the man all week for this was EJ Tackett. He had already wrapped up the top seed for the TV finals going into that final position round of match play. The dominator, Dom Barrett, doing rather well. He was second, 53 pins ahead of Jason Belmonte, who had to make a long run, Randy.
Well, after 2 rounds, Belmonte was in 54th. He moved up to 8th, entering the last 8 games of match play, where he averaged 250 to make the telecast.
Now, Tom Smallwood was looking good for 4th place. He was comfortably ahead of Anthony Simonson and Mitch Beasley, but these two had a duel.
Mitch Beasley starts with the front 6, making great shot after shot, but that ringing 10 would cost him. Simonson was up for the task. He would start with the front 10. There's the first one. Here comes another. Simonson looking for perfection. His 11th shot, however, pocket 710, but it didn't matter. That locked up the 5th and final spot.
Beasley had a terrific week, had an opportunity to make several shows, but instead he'll have to sit and watch this one. With that 5 right there, one of the best you'll ever see.
If you're gonna use that one, you want to go to the down one on the left lane?
No, I mean, I think
And while we were gone,
left lane, I think I'm going to probably stay where I was and just scoot up.
Scoot up and soft,
Yeah,
let it roll off, but that's the other
If you go right, it reads it way too fast.
No, yeah, no, you can't go right. You go right into it. I think it's going to read early.
Yeah.
And then it gets in the dry, it's going to go hot.
And this lane, I mean, it's okay.
he's going to stay with what he has. He's going to move up a little bit on the approach on the left lane and soften up to get the ball to come around the corner.
That was Anthony Simonson with ball rep Tim Mack. Here is the leader, but not by a whole lot, just the 9 pins for Tom Smallwood in this battle of the 4th and 5th seeds at the PBA World Championship. Light pocket hit, deadly pocket hit for Tom Smallwood.
You feel better now.
Unique style of Tom Smallwood as he rolls that bowling ball up on his forearm, but playing the lanes different than the rest of the field, and he could very easily have the front 6 in a row. Remember the pocket 710 in the 4th.
He didn't seem to like that last shot, though. He said, yeah, I can throw it better than that.
Yeah, and you know what? When you strike on a shot you don't like, that's a good sign.
That's got to hurry. 1-2-8-10.
Sweet.
Well, I was going to say, if that one gets back, we should hand Tom Smallwood the trophy now.
Is this makeable? Oh, yeah. He missed it, leaving 2 there. So all of a sudden he stops at 138 through 7. His lead is just 1, with Simonson working off a spare in the 6th. See, qualified 5th. His average just a shade under 226 in 62 games.
Simonson here can take the lead for the first time in the match.
Oh, just an awful, awful break.
Well, he made the shot he had to make, and unfortunately the ball's going to go right by the 9 pin. Watch this.
I think every bowler in the world who just watched that shot had that same reaction.
Just a little too hard off the end of the pattern.
I think I knocked it over.
That time he did. Simonson making his 4th TV finals appearance in singles at the US Open. He lost to Sean Maldonado in the opening match. The PBA Wolf Open, he lost to Tom Doherty in the opening match. And of course, he won the USBC Masters as the #1 seed, defeating Dan McClelland with a 245. Has that doubles TV appearance we mentioned earlier with Connor Pickford. That's got to hurry. And he breaks up trouble there by getting rid of the 10 pin.
He can't go straight on the left lane. He tries to go around it on the left lane, and that doesn't work. If he's going to continue to try to make that ball curve, he's going to have to get much softer. That or it's a ball change. He's running out of time. The spare here, he's only got the 9th and 10th.
He'll handle that. And we'll remind you today on ESPN, it's another afternoon doubleheader of college hoops at 3 o'clock Eastern. John Calipari's #6 Kentucky Wildcats take on the Hofstra Pride in the Brooklyn Hoops Winter Festival at the Barclays Center. Then Tennessee and #7 North Carolina from the Dean Dome and Chapel Hill. Both games streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Smallwood kicks away the 10.
I can do it.
Let's take a look at the other finishers in this event. Pete Weber battling health problems with his back and his hip. He'll be sending the very best as we get him healthy, hopefully, for next season. Mitch Beasley had a great run in Reno. Brandon Novak, #8, Wes Malott, and so on down the line. B.J. Moore III had a terrific time. Francois Lavoie, you will see later on this month. Matt O'Grady, Sean Rash there in 24th. You can hear a little sigh of disgust.
Well, he got it right again. This time it's the 2-7. And this is just probably about an inch right of where he needs it to be. And that's just one board. Remember, 39 boards across the lane. And a nice conversion.
Blasting that into outer space. Small lead for Smallwood at 4. It's our Hammer tough spare replay. But he made it look easy. So Simonson on the right lane has struck here a couple of times. Make it 3.
You know, Dave, I think this is where you got to take a chance. The left lane has been the problem lane for Anthony Simonson. He's tried slowing down. He's tried going around it. He's tried moving. I think now the move is to change bowling balls. I think he has to try a different ball on the left lane.
Well, he struck on the left lane in the second frame. And he's doing exactly that, Randy, what you called for. But since then, it's been single pins or even 2 pins left behind. And that's what he needs to do to move on. 2 strikes and 5 to shut out Tom Smallwood. Ringer, boy, he made the shot. He made the shot.
On.
Holy cow, what a great move. What a gutsy move. The execution was perfect and just a violent ringing 10.
Well, you talk about trusting your game to make a move that late in a major championship. You've got to have the head for that. And
Thank you.
And he's 19 years old. Let's remind everybody that again. Wow.
So good. That one's supposed to strike.
Well, you have 2 more votes up here that agree with you. So this is for a 194.
And that one's going to strike. Just
Are
kidding.
you kidding me?
Man, 193 instead.
Did you see that? Half pocket 6?
Strike.
Oh my gosh. Watch this.
The 6 even got tapped by the ball.
That's disgusting.
I agree.
Smallwood needs a mark and count.
16 pin fill to win it. Gotta go. It did.
Real good. You know, I think if Simonson makes the change in the 8th frame, I think his chances would have greatly increased in winning this, but that awful pin carry in the 10th frame ultimately cost him.
So Tom Smallwood. And something got his attention off to his right. Not sure what that was, but he'll go back, reset, and start over. Smallwood seeking a second major championship. In fact, his second world championship, moves on, and he will face Jason Belmonte.
Match in hand, he's going to go grab another bowling ball to see what it looks like. To me, it seems like he's got a great shot to the pocket. The bad shots were the ones that he leaked right. It looks like he has all the hold he wants. See him moving in now, trying to go with a little more curve.
Great shot, man. Attempt. Great shot, man. Good ball this week.
Tom Smallwood understands that Anthony Simonson got a couple of awful breaks, but Smallwood also understands he's the beneficiary of those bad breaks for the opponent. Next up, Tom Smallwood and Jason Belmonte.
I was looking too left where I was playing.
Match number 2 is about to begin, but first our Columbia 300 fun fact. Over the 32 games of qualifying for this PBA World Championship, the 169 competitors knocked down more than 1.1 million pins. And there are days it seems like Jason Belmonte has knocked down them all himself. He is standing by with Kimberly Bressler.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm here with Jason. So, Jason, you just took some practice shots. How's your game today?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel nervous, but I think that's good. It means I'm alive. So I can't wait to get out there. The lanes are playing a little bit different to they were early in the week. So the boys and I are changing our strategy just a little bit, and now it's up to me to throw the ball and then let the ball do its job.
Well, you are a 3-time and reigning player of the year. You have 6 majors to your name. How do you make it a 7th today?
Well, it's mathematics. I got to beat the guy by at least 1 pin each match, but you know, it's the best bowlers in the world. I'm not expecting them to make it easy for me today, so I'm going to have my foot down on the pedal, and it's not coming off until the tournament is over.
All right, well, good luck to you today.
Cheers.
Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Kimberly, and thank you, Belmo. And Marshall will be joining us for the rest of the afternoon, along with Randy Peterson. So Jason Belmonte and Tom Smallwood. We are in the National Bowling Stadium in downtown Reno. The water bottle down. Belmo is ready to go and opens on the left lane.
Be interesting to see how he gets his reaction going in the first couple of frames and see what his ball looks like on the lane. If he gets off to a good start, you know, he can just get locked in.
Especially on the left lane. Left lane is very tight down lane.
Yeah, very tight down lane.
And he's off to a perfect start.
You know, Marshall, when I watch Belmonte, for me, it's all about his rhythm and ball speed. When his rhythm is good and he's posting every shot, his ball speed's usually pretty good, and then he looks unbeatable.
Yeah, it's a fascinating game. I've always enjoyed watching Jason because it's something that I feel I could never have done. You know, just so different than my game as we see Smallwood in the first frame.
And through the nose for this one, leaving behind a 6-10.
That was simply left off his hand. You know, he had a really good rhythm, especially on the right lane. He was great on the right lane. He left that 1-7-10 split that was a bad break, but this is simply pulled.
We talked to him and asked him about his strategy against the big high rev players. He says, I'm going to stay out and try to go straight as I can.
2.
Randy, you mentioned that on television, Smallwood does not have a win yet over Jason Belmonte. Is that something that is heavily on his mind, or is Tom not even thinking about that?
I don't think it's on his mind at all. I think right now he's battling his own inner demons, his ball reaction, what the lanes are giving him. Yeah, I don't think it plays into it at all. Tom Smallwood's not afraid of anyone. I mean, that's kind of his MO.
That shot looking somewhat similar to the other shot he had for his first shot, only a much tougher leave.
Very much so. He leaves a 3-6, 9-10. Now he has to deal with that sleeper 9-pin in converting this. Just another ball that looked left off his hand. And, you know, sometimes when the lanes are tight down the lane, it's hard to throw the ball to the right because you're afraid it's not going to get back. So you pull it.
Well, he had a couple shots that got away from him to the right, and one was a washout, one was a 2-7 split, so he knows he can't miss right.
Cover, and the sleeper stands.
I look for him to make a ball change and move in and start hooking it. I think the straight is gone.
Yeah, the transition in today's bowling world is so fast, and the players have to be able to make adjustments on the fly. And they've got their ball reps back there. They're watching, and they're giving input as well.
See Jason Belmonte's arsenal to phase 2.
Carry.
Oh my.
He thought that ball was going to get back. He's yelling carry, and all it did was carry down the lane. 2-4-8-10.
I mean, he really liked it off of his hand, obviously.
Yeah, there wasn't any cry of disgust or anything when he let that go. Sometimes you hear bowlers and they know immediately when they've made a bad shot, but you did not hear that from Belmo. So he takes 3 out of 4 there, and both players with an open early in this World Championship match. In the meantime, Anthony Simonson caught some terrible breaks in that opening match, but he caught a good one here. He's standing by with Kimberly Pretzler.
Thanks, Dave. So, Anthony, I know you didn't play as well as you wanted to in that match. What issues were you having?
A couple ball choice issues to start the match. A couple bad shots right in the middle of the game, and I threw them good down the stretch and didn't get them to fall my way this time.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you both very much. And Anthony, great year for him. Belmo, 10 in the bench.
I have a question for you, Marshall. Watching these high-power players, especially Belmonte, you and I went through it in our career. Why do they not leave more solid 9s, solid 7s, solid 8s?
Well, I don't know. I mean, with the solid 9 is certainly the one that you would see a lot, with the way the balls are driving through the pins with there's no regard for how much the pins weigh. Their carry's phenomenal.
And a nice shot from Smallwood to match Belmo.
I don't know about you, Randy, but I always was more concerned, with that shot getting back to Belmo's 2-4-8-10. He thought it was good off his hand. That freaked me out more than if I just made a bad shot. If I think it's a good shot and it doesn't strike, that's when I start questioning myself.
Yeah, it always becomes a okay, now what?
Yeah.
Sweet-looking strike and a double for Smallwood.
Nice comeback, too, from the open. This is going to be an interesting shot for me, Marshall. Getting back to your comment about, he throws it. He thinks it's a good shot. It goes 2-4-8-10. Very interesting coming up here.
With his rev rate, if he gets a little bit slow, he can go from leaving the 2-4-8-10 to punching 4 out of the middle.
Yeah.
In an instant. So he's got to. This will be a very interesting shot.
Snaps it right in the pocket.
Good shot.
Time for our track tech talk.
Well, 2 completely different styles here, but you see Belmo and the two-handed no-thumb style. What's unusual about Tom Smallwood is that he actually has a full roller track. You can see the yellow riser pin and where it's positioned in his layout. And most people don't know that about him.
I had no idea. It does sound like occasionally it's clipping.
It's catching the finger holes on the way down.
Yeah.
They both roll it up onto their forearms, but Smallwood's thumb is in it, Belmonte's is not, but 2 completely different ball rolls.
Sure.
Right, then the 7-10 is busted up by a friendly messenger.
A quality shot from Belmo. Gets the messenger to take out. Yeah, takes it out, and there's Belmo is like, well, okay.
See, and that's the hit they have to carry.
Yeah.
That's why they.
That's what the power's for.
That's exactly right. You carry those messengers.
Jason Belmonte looking for his 13th PBA Tour title. Tom Smallwood with 2 tour titles. He's come off the deck before. Everybody knows the story of his career, how it really got started in the 09 PBA Tour Trials. He was looking for work, even laid off his job, and qualified for the tour out of the trials, and then won World Championship in 2009 in Wichita.
Yeah, great backstory for Tom Smallwood, who, you know, he was just an everyman who gave it a shot and has turned into quite the talented player.
So Smallwood working on a triple. A small lead of 8. Another kick save and a beauty on the 10. 4-bagger for Smallwood. His lead is 18. 2 major champions looking to add another one to their trophy case. Jason Belmonte and Tom Smallwood, with Don Barrett awaiting the winner. Today on ESPN, it's another afternoon doubleheader of college basketball to 3 Eastern. John Calipari, 6th-ranked Wildcats take on the Hofstra Pride in Brooklyn at the Hoops Winter Festival. Then Tennessee travels to Chapel Hill to take on North Carolina from the Dean Dome. They're streaming live on ESPN app and on Watch ESPN.
Well, let's take a look at what happened during the break. And Belmo talking with his refs. This kind of looks like the pretty girl at the prom. Everybody wants to be seen with him. Not 1 rep, but 3. You got Tim Mack, Callahan, and Ballard.
In a little bit, mate, and firm. That's what I thought. Right. I thought that when you went back over there on the 4th frame, your speed was really good.
Well, that's what I ended up doing. Yeah. What I meant by good, like when I threw the practice shot on that lane, it was a little, because it took in a little more. So I threw that one a little firmer, thinking, oh, well, that's on that lane, it'll be all right.
Friction, right.
But it didn't.
Yeah, it just looked a little infirm to me, but I could live with the last 3. They were good. Yeah. It's all speed. All speed.
Oh, I agree.
Speed's right, it's going to roll off it and go through them every time.
Yeah, I agree.
Marshall, it's just like what you and I were talking about earlier. For Belmonte, it's all about his ball speed. It's got to be perfect.
Absolutely. And, you know, he's got such a dynamic release, and but right now he finds himself in the rears in this opening match.
By 18 pins. It was his 6th frame.
Oh my. That just got right off his hand and no chance to recover.
No.
Wide right. Not good when your opponent's working on a ham bone.
You allowed to say that?
Ham bone.
I actually got permission from a friend of mine.
Okay, because I feel reluctant to jump in. I feel like I have to write a check, and I can't afford that.
Yeah, no, I actually
okay.
Signed the waiver.
Covered nicely there by Belmo, but he trails by 20. No. So Jason Belmonte with that remarkable USBC Masters run of 13, 14, and 15. Back-to-back PBA Tournament of Champions and the 2011 PBA Players Championship. And for that stretch there in 13, 14, 15, he just seemed like he could never, ever lose.
Yeah, he had a rhythm going from tournament to tournament, major to major. And Jason Belmonte, he is the modern power player. But speaking of power players, our good friend Mark Roth and his wife Denise are watching back in New York. And a shout out to my good buddy and doubles partner, Mark.
Yes, Messenger arrives. Yeah, Mark was the OG when it came to power play.
Absolutely.
Well, I grew up loving to watch you and Mark Roth, Marshall, and I remember you guys doing a little bit of this back in your day. There's a nice messenger strike for Belmonte.
In the meantime, all this Belmo talk, and here's Tom Smallwood on top, riding 4 in a row. Just going about his business. Make it 5 straight.
There's a friendly tickling of the bucket.
You know, just when it looked like he had lost that reaction, I thought he was going to change balls, jump in, and start curving it. Boy, was I wrong.
Look from ground level. Watch the head pin go to the sideboard and do lots of damage. Just rip the whole bucket to shreds.
See their max scores.
You can almost see the track of his bowling ball with the blue dye on his ball. We'll take a look at it later.
4-pin left behind for Smallwood. Breaks his string at 5 in a row. Looking at what could have been the max score there, 265, because we are in Reno and the sports books are taking some action on this. The over-under today for the high score was 267 and a half. PBA's Extra Frame is your home for exclusive live coverage of the PBA, PBA 50, and PWBA tours. In the first 2 months of 2017, Extra Frame will bring you exclusive live coverage from Japan, plus 3 consecutive weeks of major tournaments in February. Yearly, monthly, and 3-day subscriptions are available. Click on the Extra Frame link in the menu section of PBA.com for more information. You might occasionally hear Randy and Marshall on Extra Frame.
Absolutely, absolutely, Dave. And this next shot for Belmonte is pretty much a must. I mean, he's down by 29 pins. He's got a chance to shoot a possible 235 game right now. Smallwood working at a 224 pace.
That was absolutely gorgeous.
That shot kind of reminds me of what Ken Venturi used to say. He couldn't have walked it down any better. Yeah. For golf commentary. And for Belmo, 1-3 high flush. That's a nice place to watch the ball hit.
I think to have any chance, though, Marshall, you're right. He has to strike here in the 9th frame.
Yeah, I don't see Smallwood throwing an open frame. He may not strike, but he'll fill frames.
Dom Barrett awaits the winner. E.J. Tackett is the #1 seed.
For the 2nd consecutive year.
And don't think he doesn't remember what happened last year. Running it out and...
No, how?
Well, you guys tell me how.
Well, it wasn't projected far enough to the right. Speed might have been down just a little bit. And with his high rev rate, it goes right through the face. There's the 3, the 6, the 4, the 7. Used to be a very unusual leave, Randy, but with today's bowling equipment, you see that a lot.
Yeah. He's going to try to get his ball over here and throw the 3 into the 4.
Gotta hurry.
Nice try.
Well, it got on the slick side of the oil pattern and had no chance to get back. But, you know, honestly, guys, to me, that shot looked left out of his hand the whole way.
Yeah.
You see him trying to fan it to the right with that follow through, and that's usually a left pull indicator. That's a good one.
Yeah, it is. Tom Smallwood.
And Dave, it looks like you can take that "I've never beaten Jason Belmonte" moniker right off of Thomas Smallwood.
Yep, he's going to get one here.
Tom Smallwood slinging large wood against the greatest bowler in the world. Game, set, match. He will move on to take on Dom Barrett.
Yeah, he just needs to get the ball down the lane here.
He did.
Doesn't matter. 7-10. Well, the 7 falls out, but
Good luck for the next couple of games, aren't we?
And that was nice. Jason said good luck the next couple games, not the next game.
So he's projecting a win over Dom Barrett in a very friendly manner.
Did he bet on Smallwood?
I think not.
I think not too, yes. He's just being a very good sport. So the next match, number 3, will be Tom Smallwood and Dom Barrett as we inch closer to the championship in Reno.
Go grab my other, you know.
The PBA World Championship is brought to you by HotelPlanner.com, the best place to book hotel rooms, best rate, guaranteed. By Reno Tahoe USA. For your next vacation getaway, go to visitrenotahoe.com. By Storm, where innovation and passion collide. Storm is the Boulders Company. And by DV8. We are DV8. Tonight, we bowl. Beautiful, beautiful Lake Tahoe. One tip, don't go fishing with Fredo. Tonight on ESPN, wrap up your weekend at SportsCenter at night with Bucci, and Boomer and Herm will have breakdowns from Week 14 of the NFL. It's the best place for all your sports shopping needs. SportsCenter at night, also streaming live on the ESPN app and on Watch ESPN. So Tom Smallwood has a couple of wins already, and as Marshall mentioned, no more Tom has never beaten Jason Belmonte on television. He took care of that with a solid 224-185 victory. Now he'll take on the Englishman Dom Barrett in match number 3, and E.J. Tackett, in contention for Player of the Year this year, awaits the winner of the Barrett-Smallwood match. Well, Randy also competed here in Reno was the Team Masters Grand Championship, and here's an outstanding young college player, Brianna Clemmer from McKendree.
I know Brianna personally, just a great bowler and a great young lady.
Adam Zimmerman here is a two-hander from the right side, 10 straight back.
That's a really great test of talent. Excuse me, Dave, in the 10th frame, though, she had a little bit of trouble. She throws a great shot there, but she fouls.
And she knew it, too. This was, look down.
What a heartbreak. My gosh, to throw a great shot like that and foul to lose.
They go to the roll-off. That's pure, clean money right there for Zimmerman. She has to match that and cannot. So the Team Masters champion is Adam Zimmerman. And there they are. And you'll be able to see that match in its entirety and all the Team Masters on January 22nd at 5 Eastern on ESPNU.
So the youth of the game, very important. We need those players.
Dom Barrett is a major champion. Tom Smallwood is a major champion. They will face off in our next match of the PBA World Championship from Reno. A fantastic crowd here at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno. Getting ready for match number 3 of the PBA World Championship, featuring a past world champion in Dom Barrett, who did his in 2013 in Las Vegas.
Tom came out of this with a little premature celebration. He really needed good count on his second ball in the 10th. This was the first shot. He thought he'd wrapped it up. He had to compose himself and come back with the next shot to seal the win.
He pulled it off, though, and he is standing by with Kimberly Pressler.
So, Dom, I saw you watching the 2 previous matches. What did you learn that you can apply to your match?
No, it's hard. You know, we did this qualifying a few days ago now, and you're trying to just kind of remember what you did good in those days. So, practice this morning and practice last night, and just trying to, you know, I saw how the lane broke down, but I'm going to try and focus on myself a little bit more and trying to worry about how I can best execute my shots.
How badly do you want another PBA World Championship?
It's that, you know, you only get into these sort of moments every now and then, and you can use all the cliches you like. I think I always say that, but you can't really think about stuff like that. You enjoy the moment when you're here and just try to bowl the best you can.
All right, well, we wish you luck. Guys, back to you in the booth.
Kimberly and Dom, thank you very much. 2 former world champions, 2009 Tom Smallwood and 2013 Dom Barrett. There's Smallwood. And I think Randy's description earlier, how nothing seems to faze him. He's not afraid of anything. He does appear really unflappable.
He's in his own world, and that's what all the bowlers have to try and do. You know, we talked a lot about Jason Belmonte in the last match as he was bowling, but Smallwood's the man who made the clutch shots when he really needed them.
Something along the lines of that.
And he made an interesting comment to his ball rep, Chuck Gardner, as we went to break. He said, I'm starting to see friction now to the right. I know my ball will hook from there. That's a really good thing when you're a player. You can see that your shot to the pocket is starting to get a little bit wider.
Yeah, that's will make a bowler feel very comfortable.
So here's our first look at Dom Barrett. Well, that just took a smashing left hook right into the pocket.
But I don't want my phone in my pocket, do I?
We'll take a look at the change. How has this oil broken down since we first saw it a little while ago?
Well, you know, you could see that Smallwood was kind of playing that part of the lane, but the big power players have gotten on, and now they're way farther to the inside part of the lane, migrating to fourth arrow. Dom Barrett made a grip change. He had been going back and forth with his pitches. Nothing seemed to feel right. He went back to an 8th forward pitch and 0 lateral in his thumb. He says, now I can do anything I want with my release.
A powerful hit, but that 4-pin stays strong.
Ball just a touch high. Barrett will put that into the memory and try and we take a look at that high backswing from Dom Barrett. And Dom Barrett was a great player before he ever came to the United States to bowl, but he's really upped his credentials with some major victories here.
Yeah, he was a 3-time World Bowling Writers Bowler of the Year in 08, 09, and 10. World 10-pin Masters champion. He was European ranking champion all before he came to the States and became one of the best. Both, by the way, these guys are teammates in the PBA League for the Philadelphia Hitmen.
And they're not teammates right now.
No, every man for himself.
Get lucky. Get lucky.
I don't know if that was luck. That looked like a lot of skill to me.
He got it in just a little bit, but he's got a shim now. He's got a little bit of push when he gets it left, and he knows he's got some friction to the right.
Let's go down to Kimberly.
Thanks, guys. I'm with Jason Belmonte. Now, Jason, it looked like you were making a comeback, and then you had that nasty split in the 9th. What went wrong?
Yeah, I got a little quick with my feet, and I felt I should have stopped, actually. I felt my feet get a little slippery underneath me, and kind of rushed that last shot, that last step going into the approach, missed my target to the left a little bit, and the ball didn't want to hold, wanted to go left, and left that nasty split. But Tom bowled a really good game. Seems like he's bowling really well, so I knew I had to bowl a really consistent game, and I just didn't perform.
What's next for you?
Flying to Qatar to compete in the Qatar Open, then to Korea, then home Christmas Eve. So I can't wait to see everybody back home Christmas Eve.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time, Jason. Guys.
Thank you both very much, Jason. Best of luck in those other events. Meantime, Tom Smallwood just bashing pins. And Barrett as well.
Marshall, your take on the two completely different lines our players are playing right now?
Well, you know, Barrett has the more aggressive ball roll. He's playing deeper inside of the lane, as we can see right here. His ball's tracking over about the 19th board, going out to around 8 or 9, and then just slamming back in the pocket. Smallwood's playing that outside trajectory, and you know, sometimes straighter is greater. And I know that I certainly lost a lot of matches on television to guys who threw the ball straight. Right now, Smallwood, he's playing his game and playing it very well.
A little bit light.
Wow.
Yeah, a little high on the 4-pin, makes the adjustment, comes in a little bit light. This ball just will not pick up the roll. It gets a little bit further to the right in a slippery zone. Lucky just to leave the 2-8, because on that hit, Randy, 2-8-10 could happen easily.
It just seems like the players that have tried to go around this pattern have struggled on the left lane.
Got the sleeper back there. No trouble at all. Seems like that's one thing about today's players. That used to be a very hard split, or not even a split, a very hard lead, but it seems like today, no one ever misses that.
That's because I'm not bowling anymore, Dave.
Oh, that's it. That's it. You know,
everybody hooks it now, and so carrying the back pin on a 2-8 is no big deal. Yeah. It's the 3, 6, 9, 10 that's turned into the hardest non-splitter washout on tour.
For 4 in a row.
Late.
Oh man, that's perfection.
His shot outside has really developed.
Yeah, like you said, he's got a little bit of push and he's got a little bit of swing. And, you know, the greatest bowlers in the world, they don't need a lot of room. But they need a little.
Right. So the 300 games. Tom Smallwood not on that list. We only strike through 4 here.
Just blowing a little moisture into his thumb hole to give him a secure grip.
That dove in and he gets a break.
Now, if you're going to miss left to target, miss big left when you're playing out like Smallwood, it'll cross over.
Friendly. Fortunate.
Trip 6, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
For a 5-bagger.
He didn't like it, but now he loves it.
Like I used to tell my friends when I did that, not proud, just poor.
A more conventional strike for Dom Barrett, who's not bowling badly at all, but Smallwood is perfect through 5. Take a look at Dom's arsenal. With a Mako.
Take a re-rack, please.
And you can see he's going to get a little re-rack here.
The Mako, a very aggressive ball. Dom would like to just bowl the whole game on the right-hand lane, but that's not how it works.
And apparently, based on the music I hear in the background, the Chicago Blackhawks have scored a goal.
It's our first hockey reference.
Well, it's because that was when I remember when they won a cup a few years ago. That song played every single time they scored a goal. So that's the only thing I associate that song with.
Fair enough.
You're right. You are right, Don.
Well, that was the shot that he needed. He had to strike in that frame in order to have any chance in this match. Dom Barrett finally catches a double. Tom Smallwood, front 5. Still got a lot of time left. It's the World Championships here in Reno. Stay with us.
So much more hook right at my foot. I have left on the right lane.
The PBA has an all-new line of officially licensed PBA apparel and merchandise available online. Simply head to PBA.com, click on the Shop PBA link of the main menu. Check out the new designs for hats, polos, T-shirts, pullovers, and more. For heaven's sakes, Christmas shopping at your fingertips. And that's Jennifer Cunningham on the right, the managing director of the Reno Sparks Convention Visitors Authority, and PBA Commissioner Tom Clark. Natalie attired in that nice 3-piece suit right there.
Yeah, well, you know, guys, honestly, big congratulations and props to Tom Clark. You know, this World Series of Bowling was his vision, and here we are, World Series of Bowling 8, this year featuring a record 23 different countries. But the genesis of this entire World Series, it's owed to Tom Clark, and I think it was a great vision he had, and he's done a great job with it.
Not just the commissioner, but a true bowling enthusiast.
Yeah,
and a pretty good bowler.
Yeah.
But he's no Tom Smallwood, at least not right now. Smallwood with the front 6.
Well, Smallwood's got a lot of things going for him right now. He's got a great track to the pocket. Previous shot, he pulled to the left, was fortunate to trip the 6 on the Brooklyn side, and that shot, he crumbled another bucket. So he's not only striking on the great shots, but he's striking on the marginal ones as well.
Marshall, how many times in your career where you were bowling on the show where it just didn't matter, it was your day, you were going to win?
It happened a few times. It did. And,
yeah, I mean, where you could see it.
You don't win multiple times without having things just really do go in your way.
Set it straight for Smallwood.
Yeah, Smallwood with a perfect strike in the left-hand lane after 2 marginal ones. And today, Randy, it certainly is going his way. But funny things can happen going into the last game. And this game is not over. If Dom Barrett can continue to strike, he could put more pressure on Smallwood. But Smallwood with a very comfortable 40-pin lead.
Barrett has struck 4 times in this match. It is not as if he's throwing it all over the place.
No.
It's just he's at the moment has run into a force in Tom Smallwood.
This has been his good lane. Week 10.
Yeah. standing by, awaiting the winner. You might even be able to hear a little noise in the distance. I think E.J. Tackett's finished practicing, but he had been. $60,000 to the winner. Tackett will be in search of his first major championship after making the show a year ago as the #1 seed.
Come on.
Kimberly Pressler, lane side, handling our interviews, and I'm Dave Lamont upstairs with Hall of Famers Randy Peterson and Marshall Holman.
A little heavy-handed in that.
Beautiful 10 straight back.
Well, Dave, for Dom Barrett, the best he can do is 239. Right now, Smallwood working in a 250s pace, so Dom Barrett's got to take it out, and he'll need help from Tom Smallwood, which doesn't look likely, Randy.
Yeah, it really doesn't. Tom Smallwood in the driver's seat, obviously.
And that's 8 straight for Smallwood.
He's got a good line to the pocket. He's got really good pin carry, and he's all over Dom Barrett like a bulldog on a pork chop. I mean, front 8. Now let's take a look at his ball track. You see his index finger there? Well, right from extending from his index finger right here is his track. Remember, we talked about a full roller. Well, there's his riser pin. This ball is actually, it looks like it's drilled for a left-hander.
Unbelievable. That is very, very unique.
Uh-oh.
Nice run.
We didn't even get the chance to mention, and we would have if he struck there, that there's a $10,000 bonus awaiting somebody who bowls a 300 on national television.
So at least that miss is not our fault.
Nope.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, and that miss didn't hurt him because he. Oh, very close to
well, it's because he asked for divine intervention and got it for our Barbasol close shave of the day. And Barrett back to live action with a strike.
Yeah, there's really nothing that Barrett can do right now except just finish out the game in a classy manner. And you know, he's a great player. He'll have other opportunities, but this World Championship will not be Dom Barrett's.
Physically, one of the best games on tour right there, Dom Barrett.
Yeah, he has the ability to play a lot of different places on the lane.
Yeah.
And he can go straight as an A game. He can hook it as an A game. Very versatile.
Barrett just continuing to strike. It's a shame he has pulled a terrific game. He could have a 239. And unless Tom Smallwood leaves the building and doesn't bowl the 10th frame, Dom Barrett's not going to move on.
My hindsight just told me to bet the over.
Bye, bowling, mate. Good luck next match. Get some pins first.
So Tom Smallwood will move on against E.J. Tackett.
Try it. Try it.
And he's going to look like he's going to switch balls here again.
A good time to experiment. He's got the game in hand.
Yeah, he went to his ball rep and goes, try it, and got a thumbs up.
You like this move, Marshall?
Well, I would do the same thing. I don't know if it's the right move, but it's the move I would make. I would try a different look, but boy, it's hard. It's hard to switch bowling balls when you're shooting 260. You think?
I don't like it only because I think he can get fooled.
Yeah, it can throw doubt in your mind because it gives you another option when an option A already is working. I think the shot on the left-hand lane where he left the 3-6-10 was just part and parcel of just a bad delivery. And that's a hanging ball. I think he's going to stick with the ball he was using.
Without question. I think that shot, the last one there, the 210, is going to move him right back to what he's been doing all day.
And there is the #1 seed, E.J. Tackett, in search of that so far elusive first major. Tom Smallwood has one already, and it was this event, the 2009 PBA World Championship. He defeats Dom Barrett with a remarkable 266 performance. Now it's E.J. Tackett for everything, $60,000 and the title. In Reno, the National Bowling Stadium, getting help from the Reno Bighorns of the D-League of the NBA. We also sent over Bruno the Bighorn as we go to the Ebonite flashback. We go to the 2015 World Championship.
Well, last year, this was E.J. Tackett's tournament because he was a lone righty on this show, but somebody didn't give Gary Faulkner Jr. the memo. Tackett kept leaving 2 8-10s. Gary Faulkner just kept striking.
It was just, felt like I belonged there. I mean, I dreamed about that moment, and just to live it, it was obviously a dream come true.
So E.J. Tackett gets another shot at it, and we eavesdropped on an interesting comment that Tackett made about the start of this match.
He told his ball rep, Brett Spangler, listen, I don't want to bowl on the right lane, so I'm going to let Tom Smallwood start the match, which makes Smallwood finish on the right. E.J. Tackett will finish the match on the left lane.
Except at this point, it doesn't matter with the way Tom Smallwood has rolled the ball, where he bowls. He leaves a 10-pin there.
Marshall, you were right. He's going to stick with what? He's going to stick with the one he brought.
That's right. Dance with the girl you brung? Is this something like that?
Dance with the one you brung. Dance with the girl you brung.
So, I don't know. Next. Hard straight. He makes the 10-pin.
We'll take our first look at E.J. Tackett from Huntington, Indiana. 4 tour titles, 3 of them this year. Has not yet won a major. He's won the Team Challenge, the Bear Open, and the PBA Extra Frame Storm Open.
I talked to E.J. prior to the telecast starting, and he really wants this so desperately.
But can you want something too much?
Well, that ball just hit the skid zone, and it was gone. That wasn't even close, and certainly you couldn't want it too much. You know, he led this tournament this year. He led the tournament last year. He's bringing a little bit of mental baggage because of the loss from last year. Watch how far this ball gets to the right. It's got no chance right now. That's probably 6 boards too far to the right at the break point.
Yeah, it looked like it hit black ice.
I better hurry, and it does. Steps back in very nicely.
That was the trouble lane for him last year. He kept 2 8-10ing on that right lane, and you know, Marshall, I think you bring up a great point. The mental baggage that you bring with you from a year ago, it's not something that you can just make go away like that.
Well, you know, it's been a long time since I competed at this level, but I led 21 tournaments in my career, only won 7 of them, so I know all about that baggage.
So over the left lane now goes Tackett. It was a top qualifier.
Boy, it's important that he makes a quality shot right now and gets that air ball out of his head.
That looks much better, and he gets a nice little late kick on the 7. Let's go down to Kimberly Pressler, who's standing by with Dom.
Thanks, Dave. So, Dom, you know what? You bowled a good match. It was clean, but it wasn't enough to stop Tom Smallwood. Would you have done anything differently?
No, I think you wake up in the morning, you know what's ahead of you. You get pretty anxious and you get a little bit of nerves when you bowl, and it's all about how you manage those and if you can bowl a good game with those sort of feelings within yourself. So I felt like I handled myself quite well. I bowled a good game. But obviously, Smalls bowled so well that he deserved to win that one.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, guys.
All right, Kimberly and Dom, congratulations on a great event. And certainly no disgrace to lose to the way that Tom Smallwood is rolling the rock right now.
And right now, if you were to have gone down to one of the casinos and made a little wager on Tom Smallwood, he was 14-1, and he looks a lot better than that right now.
Yeah. See that blue line going in between the fingers and thumb hole, and actually clipping a piece of the thumb every now and then.
Ooh, a ringer on the 10. The messenger falls in the pit.
I misspoke earlier, said it was the finger holes he was clipping. It's actually he catches a piece of the thumb every now and then.
And this is really the first bad break the Smallwoods had. He left that 7-10 in the first game. So the second bad break, but boy, coming at a difficult time, giving Tackett a little bit of more life. Slide, he makes it.
In TV title matches, E.J. Tackett 1-3 and his average of 178. His career television record is 4-7 in 8 appearances.
Randy, how big is this shot right here? I mean, after the way he started with the first shot that went wide.
I think this really sets the tone for the rest of the match.
If he can make a quality shot here and strike, that would give him so much confidence.
Boy, just smashed him that time. That's the shot that you were looking for, guys.
Could not have been better.
So the last 5 major winners, notice something in common there? No gray hairs.
Yeah, and only one of them can actually legally rent a car.
You're right. That's Gary Faulkner Jr.
Very good, Randy.
But Randy will drive Jesper Svensson around town with no trouble at all.
Any day of the week.
That last shot that Tackett threw was a good 7 or 8 boards further left at the arrows than the air ball in the first frame.
Well, he has clearly recovered from that first shot.
He is totally in this match right now and in a dominant position, up 20 pins after 4 frames. Still lots of bowling to go, but E.J. Tackett feeling good about himself.
I think maybe for the first time today, Tom Smallwood's starting to feel a little heat.
He's been handing out the heat right now, and he doesn't like this one, and with good reason.
Awful. Come on.
You heard him say awful. That ball was right off his hand. He's got a little room to the right, but not that much.
I know you're supposed to play your own game, but how much now is he thinking, geez, this guy's not missing all of a sudden?
Well, I don't think Tom Smallwood can do anything except just keep on doing what he's been doing for the first 3 games. He can't get in there and play E.J. Tackett's game. He can rev it up and he can play and he can throw that hook shot, but not in the same manner that E.J. Tackett does.
He only has 1 game. If this was a 6-game or 8-game qualifier, sure, you can jump in, experiment, try to see some different shapes. He's got to stay committed to what he's been doing all day.
Happens so fast.
Yes, on that 7, down it goes. Down 21, Tackett riding 3 straight. So let's go back to the first shot of this match from E.J. Tackett. Second shot, pardon me. And the big difference in shots from that first shot, which almost guttered, to where he is now. And now he leaves a solid 4-pin behind.
Yeah, quality shot. It doesn't strike, but it's a. If I'm Tom Smallwood, I'm breathing a little sigh of relief that he's not running over me immediately.
Yeah, like what Tom did to Don Barrett last game, right?
Yes.
Pretty good shot there.
Yeah, when his ball makes a transition and turns left on the strike ball, it's a violent move.
20-pin lead for Tackett as we start the 6th frame. He has struck both times on this left lane. Chronic paranoia in his arsenal right now.
It sounds like my last few years on tour.
I was going to say,
my gosh.
I'm glad you said that. I want the job of naming bowling balls. That's what I want.
That may have been the best line ever.
Oh. 210. And that's how you get chronic paranoia.
Yeah, and Tackett had the 210s last year that put him into a 2nd place position in this tournament. If he doesn't make this, we'll take a look at the way the ball comes into the pocket. Very light and very predictable. I mean, when your ball is driving that hard, it's very, very easy to leave the 10-pin with the 2.
I just thought it was real interesting that he chose to finish on this lane.
Going for it.
It's been the temper of the two lanes.
For the players that have tried to go around it.
Absolutely.
It's tighter down lane, and that'll certainly get into your head. I think that's the lane he needs to get soft on and really get after it at the bottom of the swing and just allow the right lane to get the ball to curve back to the pocket.
Smallwood, 30 seconds ago, was 21 down. He can be in the lead with a strike right there.
Welcome back to the match, Tom.
Well, I tell you, the momentum swings in professional bowling are huge. And we've just seen a really big one right there. Smallwood, 3-pin lead.
One-time major champion, 2009 PBA Worlds in Wichita. He's also won the PBA Scorpion Championship in Vegas in 2013. 13-year pro.
And you have to wonder if we hope EJ Tackett isn't saying not again.
I think Tom Smallwood is going to be saying a lot.
I'm just going to go left every time.
4-6-7.
He did the commentary for us.
Feels like it's going to go left every time on that left lane. EJ Tackett has allowed Smallwood to finish on the right lane. Wonder if that'll play into it.
I think it very well should.
Nope. There's the momentum swings you just talked about, Marshall. It's happening so fast now how this lead is changing. Now Tackett all of a sudden is up 12.
For Tackett, he really, if he could get up there and throw two great shots, get a couple of strikes, and then it just makes him feel taller and stronger.
That's a quality shot that you were looking for. Coming up very shortly on ESPN, another afternoon doubleheader of college hoops, beginning with number 6 Kentucky and the Hofstra Pride in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center in the Hoops Winter Festival. Following that, it'll be number 7 North Carolina from the Dean Dome taking on Tennessee and Chapel Hill. Both games streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
What do you think, Randy, the biggest shot of the game to date?
I really think so. I mean, we talked about his shot in the third frame after the air ball, but I think this is probably the biggie.
Perfect.
I think he did exactly what I talked about. He got a little softer and really gave it the business at the bottom of the swing.
You think Dad liked that?
I think I can tell you that Dad is more nervous.
Oh boy! Oh well, of course he's more nervous. Dad has nothing to do but just sit there and hope.
That is a helpless feeling.
EJ's got the hammer in his hand.
But Tom Smallwood's turn at bat.
He needs to come back and answer the Tackett strikes.
And he does. Kick on the 10.
Now he's going back to his lane he's been having trouble with.
Beautiful shot.
One more.
Beautiful shot here by Tom Smallwood. In between first and second arrow, 6-pin goes to the sidewall, does its job.
What adjustment does he have to make on this left lane?
He's got to just pure it. He's got to throw the best shot of his career on this left lane, split the target, strike, and then set up his 10th frame.
The face, 3-6-10.
That was really good.
You know, he's trying to project the ball down the lane and get it going a little bit right at the start, but at the bottom of his arm swing, he's afraid that it's not going to get back. So right here at the bottom, instead of trusting it, he cuts it a little bit short. It's going through the heart all the way.
When he misses left, he's now missing right into EJ Tackett's friction.
That's throwing it on the nose.
Oh, and he leaves one behind. The best he can do now is a 192.
Well, barring any strange happenings, this is EJ Tackett's tournament, and as a man who led a lot of tournaments, and I know you led some tournaments, Randy, you know, you feel like you should win, but doesn't always turn out that way.
Our old tournament director, the late great Harry Golden, used to always call it the most enviable position needing only one win to capture the title.
Right.
And that's how you do it. E.J. Tackett, Dad knows.
Yeah.
Well, ironically, you mentioned Harry Golden, PBA Rookie of the Year 2012-13, winning the Harry Golden Award. Right there, E.J. Tackett. And there's a little sigh of relief there.
That's exactly what it is. It's not so much elation as it is relief. He knows he has the game to be a major champion. And now he's walked through the door.
His only coach, his dad.
Well, we began this show with 4 major champions. The only one who didn't have one was the guy at the top of the stepladder, and that's finished because E.J. Tackett is a major champion.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
How sweet it is after being in this position a year ago and not having his best day. He has it when he needed it most. He can't wait to throw that last ball because he wants to run over and grab that trophy fast.
Yes,
the rack barely got out of the way.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you so much. You have some over here, buddy. Thank you.
It's an amazing performance for Tom Smallwood, but this is E.J. Tackett's tournament. It was through qualifying, through match play.
Oh my God. There you go. We're sleeping there for you. Where is it from? Love again. You did it, dude.
Well, you have to be elated for E.J. Tackett, but you have to feel for Tom Smallwood and all the hard work throughout the stepladder finals today. And, but it sure is a feel-good story for that young man right there.
Yeah, you do have to feel good the way he came back. This was his tournament of redemption. And for E.J. Tackett, his 5th PBA title, his first major, and the emotion that he showed between himself and his father, it touched me.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, but when you look back on it, how he earned it.
Motive, guys.
He
Motive,
definitely
Genesis,
earned this championship from the very beginning. You don't bowl 62 games, in its case 63, and not earn a championship. Yeah, take a few photos, Dad. Hopefully you got enough storage on your phone for that. There's your champion, E.J. Tackett, $60,000 richer, and a memory he and his father will never forget. The PBA World Championship is brought to you by Eldorado, Silver Legacy, and Circus Circus, Reno's premier downtown properties. By the United States Bowling Congress, creating competitive opportunities at all levels as we build a future for the sport. Visit bowl.com for more. By Skechers Wide Fit with air-cooled memory foam. It's first class for your feet. And by Track Bowling. Make the smart move. Inside the National Bowling Stadium, E.J. Tackett no longer has to wonder if he'll ever win a major championship on tour because he's done it. In that top position, he defeated Tom Smallwood, who worked his way up from the number 4 seed, defeating Anthony Simonson, Jason Belmonte, and Dom Barrett with a 266, I might add. But this was E.J. Tackett's day. It was his tournament all along. He led every time. And he's standing by with Kimberly Pressler.
Thanks, Dave. I'm also joined by Tom Clark, the PBA commissioner, for the trophy presentation.
Thanks, Kimberly. EJ, on behalf of the PBA, you earned this one, man. Awesome performance. The Earl Anthony Trophy, you are the PBA World Champion. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, EJ, before the break, we saw you going over there and hugging your dad. This has been a very emotional win for you. 2 years in a row, you were the number 1 seed. Last year, you didn't make it to the winner's circle. This year, here you are. Describe what this means to you.
This is an amazing feeling. It's unlike anything else I've ever felt in my life. To have my dad here for this major win, I couldn't ask for anything more. I'm in euphoria right now.
Does this mean you're going to be Player of the Year?
I hope so. You know, that's like we talked earlier. You know, it's left up to my peers to do the voting. So, you know, I hope I've done enough this year to win that honor.
Well, you know what? When we talked earlier, you said that you wanted to focus on being calm and keeping your mind slow. Do you feel those were key factors in your win today?
For sure I do. You know, the approaches were a little bit different than what we'd seen all week, and I had to keep my feet a little bit slower. And actually, I think it might have helped me because I tend to get fast on TV, so it might have worked out in my favor this time.
It definitely worked out in your favor. Congratulations. You are officially a major winner. Marshall, Dave, we're going to send it back to you in the booth.
Kimberly and EJ, thank you very much. Well, you've gone through that experience before, winning that first major, getting that monkey off your back.
Yeah, I've gone through the elation of victory. I've had the frustration of second-place finishes many times. And for EJ Tackett, you know, I couldn't be happier for him. He's a great young man, a great player, and I think this will so a Player of the Year for him. So, you know, watching him with his father, embracing with his dad. I mean, if that didn't get to you, then I'm not sure you're really here. That was a wonderful, wonderful moment.
But there was another man who put on an incredible performance today. That was Tom Smallwood. He is standing by with Randy.
Thanks, Dave. Tom, what a great performance. You decided to play a part of the lane that none of the other competitors were even going to touch. What happened in the title match?
A little bit lost the left lane a little bit. You know, I mean, it was going away a little bit in the third game, and I knew I was fighting it, but I really wasn't sure to go. So I thought if I threw it great, that's good on that lane, and then you know, actually threw one really good, and I think the 8th frame or 9th frame, where it was, and went high again. But you know, it's kind of my game, playing with their rev rate and their ball speed. You know, I can't cheat in with them and create the same angles. So they allowed me to play right the whole time, and you know, obviously had a chance.
What's next for you?
Go home and hang with the kids. I've been gone for 17 days now, so go home, hang with them, have a great Christmas.
Thanks so much for your time, and have a great holiday, my friend.
Thank you.
All right, great bowling, Tom. Randy, thank you very much. Coming up on the Geico World Series of Bowling, the PBA Cheetah Championship next Sunday at 1 o'clock, part of the 4 animal patterns. Then the PBA Chameleon Championship on Christmas Eve at 1 o'clock, and then after you open the gifts, and when you're getting ready to start the eggnog, we're ready for you with the PBA Scorpion Championship Christmas Day at 2:30 Eastern, and the PBA Shark Championship Sunday, December 25th, again Christmas Day right after that at 3:30. Well, Marshall, for this year, you think that EJ Tackett is Player of the Year. Is there anybody else in consideration?
Well, you know, Anthony Simonson is a player that possibly be in contention. But I think that Tackett really solidified his position by winning this tournament. I believe he won 3 other tournaments this year, so I think he's your guy.
We'll find out. The players will vote on that, and we'll have that news by the end of the year. But for EJ Tackett, what a day this was. 2015 is now so far in that rearview mirror of his. He is the champion in 2016. For Kimberly Pressler, Randy Peterson, and Marshall Holman, I'm Dave Lamont. Stick around. College basketball is next. Kentucky and Hofstra at the Brooklyn Hoops Winter Festival at the Barclays Center. Today you got to watch EJ Tackett from the #1 position defeat Tom Smallwood as Smallwood made the charge from the first match up the ladder until he ran into our eventual champion, EJ Tackett. This has been a